Hey friends, it is about 1:30 in the morning. Um, I went to sleep around 5 and I probably slept about 6.5 hours. So I'm feeling a bit more rested. I woke up at like 11:30-ish. And yeah, I've just been tidying up, finishing uploading the video, and things like that. I have some dinner, French onion soup, since France is playing. And I'm just prepared for the match that's going to start in about 30 minutes. So the first match is going to be Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. I am predicting an Argentina win. And then at 5 a.m. it'll be Denmark versus Tunisia. I'm predicting Denmark. At 8 a.m., Mexico versus Poland. I'm hoping for Poland, but I'm thinking Mexico will probably win. And then France versus Australia. Australia is a major underdog, so I might root for them, but I know France is going to win. So that's about what is going on. Before going to sleep, while I was editing the video, I did manage to finish my decreased stitches on the sock. And I think I need to do about 5 inches on the foot. This is what it looks like now. Before I can do the toe. So yeah, that's not too bad. Especially since I've gone up a needle size from the US 1 that is normally called for, and this is a 1.5. I've got wide feet, but when I would do a large size sock, it would just be too loose that it would like fall down my legs, and I didn't like that. So I am trying to now do the regular size sock, but with a half a needle size up, and see if that's going to be a better fit for me. I'm on a quest to find what works for me in terms of socks, because I have a lot of sock yarn, but if I make socks that are just always falling down, I don't like the saggy feeling for socks, but I also don't like it to be too squished because I have mild claustrophobia, and sometimes it's clothes that make me feel claustrophobic. Socks, having my feet enclosed, that can make me feel like I'm really confined. And I mean, some like turtlenecks, I can't do turtlenecks. It just makes me feel like I can't breathe. And so and like airplanes, everyone always wants the window seat. I cannot handle the window seat. I mean, the middle seat's the worst, but I prefer the aisle seat because at least I feel like I have some breathing space to the side. So those are just some of the small issues that I deal with. I mean, it's not bad claustrophobia. I don't feel trapped in an elevator. I don't feel trapped just period in the airplane. I just really, really need that aisle seat, which is hard because my husband I think he wants the window seat, which usually leaves like a seat in between, so I end up sitting in the middle, which sucks. But yeah, so I'm on a quest to find... No, Georgie, come here. You want to say hi? Come here. George Porch, come here. Hi, buddy. Come say hi. This boy needs a haircut so bad. Yes, you do. Say hi. Hi, I love you. So yeah, so I've been on a quest to try to figure out what is the sock formula that's gonna fit best for me. And I'm hopeful for this. I did try doing a US 2 needle size on a pair of socks, and that was a little too big. So I'm hoping that 1.5 will be the right fit for me. So yeah, but that yeah, so the nice thing about that is that it's a little less knitting, like less stitches because they're a little bit bigger stitches. So that is nice, especially when you consider that a large size is 72 stitches and a regular size is 64. So it's already trimming down a lot of knitting. So, but however, I did not get to work on the MCow yesterday because I was trying to, when I do heels, I like to do the whole heel and all the decreases in one sitting because I don't want to lose track if I'm on a decrease row or if I am on just a plain knit row or where I am in the pattern. So I like to do the whole heel and decreases, and so sometimes I put off doing heels because I don't have the amount of time to just sit down and do that whole thing. But anyways, so today I'm going to start out working on the MCow and hopefully do the amount I needed to do yesterday and today. So here's what it looks like. I've done 2 of the 5 repeats, so I need to do 3 more repeats and then the section B, the 12 stitch section B. You saw this. Oh, there it goes again. Okay. Anyway, so I've missed a lot of the commentary, and that's fine. I will maybe try to catch up with it later. But this is a 4-match day, so settling in for the long haul. And yeah, I will update you with match notes. I hope putting in the pictures was helpful so you could put a face to a name. If not, then I don't know, maybe I won't continue to do it. But yeah, I just hope that you're enjoying following along, and I will talk with you guys in a bit. Say bye, Georgie. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Boy, he thinks he's in trouble, I think, because he got... Georgie, stop it. Yeah, is that what happened? Yeah. He's just a big grump sometimes, like, does not want anyone in his space. Anyways, talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, y'all. The first match is over, and let me tell you, this is why you wake up and watch that 2 a.m. match, even though it's countries you don't care about. Saudi Arabia somehow managed to pull out a 2-1 win over Argentina, beating Argentina's 36-game unbeaten streak. One of the commentators expected a 6-0 win for Argentina, and it is so crazy. And this is why you watch the World Cup. This is why I watch every match of the World Cup, and it's because this is where you see these things, and they matter in terms of global unity and things like that, like bringing the world together. It was so crazy. And this is also a case of the VRA gods giveth and the VRA gods taketh away. So I have a page of notes. In the 9th minute, well, actually 7.5, so 7.5 minutes, VAR called a penalty in favor of Argentina. They saw some shirt pulling in the box, and the commentators were saying that they think that this was in response to the England penalty that wasn't called in yesterday's match. And I talked about that, and part of why I'm not a huge fan of VAR and all of the new technology that goes on. But they saw some tugging, and it was even less than the tugging against England that wasn't called yesterday. But so they talked about how, like, they think the referees all got together and talked, and like, they're trying to keep the refereeing consistent between all the games and all the different referees. And so they were saying that it was decided they needed to call those kind of calls. Anyways, so it got called, and in the 9th minute, Lionel Messi scored that penalty, and it went 1-0 for Argentina. Now, this is where the VAR gods taketh away, because Argentina had 3 goals that were ruled offsides because the cameras and the technology were able to show that the Argentinian player was offsides and the goal couldn't stand. They literally lost 3 goals because of that. Not only that, but the offsides flag went up like 7 times in the first 30 minutes against Argentina. And that's not like wrong calls. They were playing a tight game. Saudi Arabia was keeping a really tight line in terms of making sure that they could get those. Hang on, let me pause the video so that I can watch the commentary before the next match. But anyways, so that they could hopefully get those Argentinian players offsides, and it worked. Saudi Arabia was very, very good defensively. Argentina's only goal came from a penalty. It didn't come from free open play. It came from a penalty. And that is a major kudos to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, unfortunately, also had a player that was taken off with concussion, I believe, at the very end of the game when we were into extra time already. So, I mean, it's just crazy. But yeah, here we are. Minute 21, Messi goal ruled offsides. Minute 27, Martinez goal ruled offsides. Minute 34, another Martinez goal ruled offsides. And then we had halftime, and it's like Saudi Arabia came out and they were like, they had this belief about them, and they were like, you know what, we can do this. And it's incredible when you see that. And 2.5 minutes into the second half, Al-Shariri scores for Saudi Arabia, tying it up 1-1. If you can find a replay of even just the second half of this match, do it. It was incredible. Okay, so let me just give you an analogy of how incredible it was. During the first half, I crocheted a full pattern repeat, knit, a full pattern repeat on my shawl. I had to put it away because I was starting to fall asleep. It's a repetitive pattern that just like, and then it cut motion, and the game was just like, you know, not a lot of action in that first half. And I was like, you know, during a boring game like this, maybe I'll work on my cross stitch project, try to make some progress on it. So I pulled it out. I managed to get 6 stitches. 6 stitches on this project in the entire second half. I can even show them to you, okay? Those 3 little purple X's and those 3 little purple X's. That's all that got done. That's all, because I cannot pull my eyes off the TV. It was so exciting and so thrilling, and now I've got energy and I'm ready to go. Anyways, so then the next goal came at minute 52:45, so almost minute 53. And that was Al-Dwasari. I'm butchering pronunciations clearly. And he scored a beautiful goal. I think it was just outside the penalty area, and it was powerfully struck, and the goalkeeper got like a touch on it, but it was too powerful to stop. It was beautiful. And then there was just a lot of back and forth and high action for the next like 40 minutes. And come minute 91, this was incredible. Minute 91, a Saudi Arabia player cleared the ball off of their goal line with a header. Like, the Argentina player struck the goal, and it was like it was gonna go into goal. They were gonna score, and the Saudi Arabia, I didn't get the player's name, but he just headed it off the goal line, and it was incredible. So incredible. Really watch the highlights that I put down below, and I hope that they include this in the highlights. this was a game, guys. This was a game I was not expecting, and it was amazing. So here are some interesting stats. This is the first opener win for Saudi Arabia ever in their World Cup history, and that's so incredible. This is also the first opener loss for Argentina since 1990. So in, what is that, 32 years, this is the first opener match that they've lost. Crazy. This also ended Argentina's 36-game unbeaten run. So they've had some ties in there, but this is an unbeaten run. And at some point, those always have to come to an end. Germany's had some great ones. Every country has had some great unbeaten. Well, not every country, obviously, but a lot of the great countries have had unbeaten runs. And at some point, they always have to come to an end. People were thinking this is going to be the year Argentina wins, and they sure still can. They still can. But, I mean, this could be the type of thing that puts a fire in their belly, and they come back in the next game and they slaughter Mexico, I believe is their next opponent. Or this could be the game that just gets in their psyche and they can't shake it. You don't know. For example, I think that their 3 disallowed goals for being offsides messed with their psyche, and it let Saudi Arabia get in there and score their goals. It was just, guys, it was an incredible match. Incredible. Highly recommend. Highly recommend if you can find it. If you have an opportunity to watch these World Cup matches, do it. They are so exciting. I love them. I really love them. So, yeah, so as it stands right now, the group I had at the bottom of this group, and they could still end up in the bottom. That's the thing with World Cup groups. They could still end up in the bottom. But right now, they're at the top. So, well done to Saudi Arabia. They did great. Their players did great. It was a deserved win. So the next match that is going to start in 38 minutes, is Denmark versus Tunisia, and I'm looking forward to this group. I am still predicting a Denmark win. I hope Tunisia does not upset that, because I'm so excited to see Christian Eriksen returning at the top level in the World Cup. I'm so excited, guys. I am so pumped. So, yeah, so that's going to be starting. I don't have a lot of commentary to add at this particular moment. Denmark is the favorite going into the match, but it's a World Cup. Anything can happen. So, I am going to probably go make another cup of tea or something. Maybe not. Maybe it's time for a cooler drink because I'm a little warm. Oh, I'll put in the picture I took, but I was knitting on this, right, and I had the balls in my lap, and I noticed how well it matches my pajamas. Sorry, you guys, you're gonna see a lot of pajamas because they're comfortable, and it's what's happening. I live most of my life in pajama clothes, and, yeah. It just is what it is. And this is actually an eye mask that came with this. But one, I don't use eye masks because, again, with the claustrophobia stuff, it's too enclosing. And I was like, I wonder if this could work as a headband. And I think it works pretty good as a headband. It's keeping my hair off my face, which bothers me. And yeah, so I think it's cute. I got this at Walmart, guys. You can find some nice, reasonably priced pajamas at Walmart. I was looking at Kohl's pajamas, and they were like $40 or $50, and I was like, are you kidding me? $40 or $50 for pajamas? No. So I found these. I think they were $15 at Walmart. They're comfortable. They're warm. They're soft. They come with an eye mask that can double as a headband. And so, yeah. If you can run out to Walmart and get a nice pair, and we can be matching. This is not to, support any team, because I don't know that these are really the colors of any team that I'm pulling for. Maybe I could go with the Christmas theme for Denmark because they're a Scandinavian country. I don't know. I'm just wearing comfy clothes today. So, yeah, I'm going to stop talking now because this is 12 minutes and these videos are ridiculously long and I apologize for that. So I'm going to try to get a bit more done on this. I would like to do another repeat. It took me 1/2 to do a repeat. So, I want to do three more repeats. I think will get me back up to the schedule I'm supposed to be on for today. So I'll try to fit those in later. But yeah, I will see you guys at the end of Denmark versus Tunisia. Bye. Okay, so match 2 of the day is over, and it was Denmark versus Tunisia. I think that at least in these first 2 matches, the takeaway is you need to stay onside. You need to stay onside. This match ended 0-0, which is disappointing as I was rooting for Denmark. However, Tunisia did put on a really good performance. They were defensively very sound, and they had a lot of goal-scoring opportunities. Denmark didn't show up like they needed to. They gave the ball away quite frequently. It was just disappointing to watch. So, unfortunately, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, and they needed to do better than they did. So I only have 2 notes from the Denmark versus Tunisia match, and that is 22 minutes in, Tunisia had a goal ruled offsides, and 55 minutes in, Denmark had a goal ruled offsides. So that's all that there was. This was another match that was hard to tear my eyes away. I did work on my cross stitch, and I'm super close to being done with the first tulip, and I'm going to try to finish that and then go back to knitting, I think. But here is what it looks like at this point. I need to put something behind it as there. Okay, so it is just very difficult to actually work on this project because I'm in a specialty stitch section and it's just taking a lot of concentration. And so I think my goal for this World Cup is to finish part 2, which is both tulips, and I don't know if I'm going to get much more done than that. I mean, maybe the outline for part 3, we'll see. But it's just a lot easier to focus on knitting at the same time as the game than it is to work on the cross stitch. So this is the first scoreless match. Denmark is not out of it at all. But this is something that's probably going to come down now to goal differentials in that group, depending on how this France-Australia game goes. And so the next match is Tunisia will face Australia and Denmark will face France. And that's going to be a hard game for Denmark. They're not going to be expected to win. And yeah, that sucks as someone who wants Denmark to be able to move forward. Of course, as we saw in the Argentina match today, anything can happen and an underdog can definitely win. So we'll have to keep our eye on Group D and see what happens. And I mean, it's not bad that Denmark will play Australia as their final game, because if they need to rack up the goal differential, they may be able to do that in that final game. We'll see. So, I mean, My best hope for Denmark getting forward is that somehow Australia will beat Tunisia. And then Denmark will beat Australia. And if Denmark can get a draw versus France or even possibly a win, that would be best case scenario. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So the next game today, we're going back over to Group C, and it's going to be Mexico versus Poland. On my screen paused right now because I paused so I could record this, is Robert Lewandowski, and he has played for Bayern Munich for many years, and he just transferred. But I know from club level, he is a force to be reckoned with, and I hope he brings his A game today, and that maybe at the end of day 1 for this, maybe Poland can top their group. We'll see. So I am going to try to finish up that cross stitch in this in-between time, and then hopefully switch back to knitting. But yeah, I will update you guys at the end of the next match. Bye. It is the Mexico versus Poland game, and they are all out and tired, which means maybe I'll get some knitting done and they won't interrupt me. Okay, the third match is done. I am getting pretty tired. This one ended 0-0 as well, and there was no goals ruled offsides this time, but Robert Lewandowski was awarded a penalty in minute 55. It was a VAR ruling again, and again, his shirt was tugged in the box, and I think that the referees have decided that they don't want to see this in the matches, and so anytime it happens, it's going to be called as a penalty, and the players are going to have to realize they can't do that and get away with it, that might be something that they get away with on the club level, but the referees have decided for this World Cup, they're not going to get away with that, and as soon as they stop doing it, we'll stop having so many penalties given. But anyways, Robert Lewandowski missed the penalty. Well, or rather, the Mexican goalkeeper saved it. I think his name is Ochoa. And I think the takeaway from this game was both keepers were having a fantastic night. Szczęsny, I probably got that wrong. The Polish goalkeeper was having a really, really, really good night. He made a ton of saves. I mean, there was portions of the game that Mexico was definitely the better team. Sorry. Oh, the tiredness. It always catches me at some point. But anyways, so, yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed watching it, but like the first game today was very exciting. And these two games have not been that exciting, unfortunately. I mean, they've been open, and like either team could take it at any moment, and neither team did. But yeah, I'd love to see some more goals. Sorry. Oh, jeez. Anyways, I'm gonna show you the crafts at the end of the next match. But they're going good. The dogs have been like sleeping the whole game watching time. Like yesterday they were needy little monsters, and today they've been like, okay mom, we're just gonna sleep. So I took a short clip at one point, and right now all 11 of them are just asleep on beds. And there are quite a few beds in here, but yeah, right now there are 2 unused beds because some of them have doubled or tripled up. I mean, they're so funny, little dogs. But yeah, they've been pretty good. We did have a small choking incident in which Amy was choking on a treat because she's so greedy for treats that she didn't chew. She just swallowed, and I'll have to remember to break that treat up even smaller because she choked on it. But luckily she threw it up. I tried sticking my finger down her throat to try to get it out. Anyways, that's pretty disgusting. I'm sorry I told you guys that. But she is fine. I have been keeping an eye on her. That was like 2 matches ago, so she is fine. And yeah, I think that's all I have to update you guys with. I mean, there really wasn't much to say about this match. It's expected that there's about 80,000 Mexican fans there in Qatar, and the stadium capacity was 40-something thousand, and the commentator said about 9/10 of the stadium was filled with fans of Mexico, and you could tell, like, it was loud, and it was clear who they were rooting for, and it was basically like a Mexican home game is what the commentators said, that it sounded as if they were in the Aztec Arena. I think that's the name of the arena that they play their matches in. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, it's crazy. There's a ton of people. I'm glad these matches are being attended. So we're down to the final match of the day, and it starts in 50 minutes, and that'll be France versus Australia. Sorry. I am expecting France to win, but with the way today's matches have gone, you honestly really can't tell. So we will see. The standings for Group C are finalized for the end of the first round. And so Saudi Arabia is at the top, and you will see I had them at the bottom. Then Mexico and Poland are tied. And then Argentina, Argentina is, at the bottom. I mean, it's all going to change. There's still 2 more matches to be played, but we will see. So I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. And, the last match, France versus Australia. Let's go, Australia. Bye. Okay, the final match is done, and at the end of my last video clip, I was talking about wanting more goals, and boy, did this game deliver. There are a couple of things that I should have said regarding this match before it started, but anyways, so the previous 3 World Cup winners have all gone out in the group stage, and people are starting to view it as like kind of curse. So Italy, Spain, and Germany, which won the last 3 World Cups, not including France, who just won the previous World Cup, all went out in the following group stage. Based on their gameplay today, that will not be the case for France. And I will get into that in a minute. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the commentator said that the country of Saudi Arabia is having a national holiday tomorrow because of their win over Argentina. Isn't that crazy? They haven't even won the World Cup, but they're already going to have a national holiday so that the whole country can have a day of celebration. And I think that that's kind of cool. Anyway, so now let's talk about the France versus Australia game. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Been awake for, I don't know, 14 or 15 hours at this point. Okay, so at 8.5 minutes into the game, Australian player with the last name Goodwin scored a goal. And so it started out with Australia ahead 1-0. And I have to say that Australia did better than I expected them to. A lot of the commentators are just going on and on about France, which I get because the ending scoreline was 4-1. But I think that Australia actually did show some of France's weaknesses that better teams might capitalize on. I know France are big favorites and they did do an amazing game. However, their defense left a lot to be desired. There was like wide open gaps. And Australia had several chances in which they should have capitalized on those holes where they came close to scoring again. Like I said, a better team might expose some of those weaknesses a bit more. And so, well, France did do really good. They did what they needed to do. They scored a lot against Australia. If they come across like Brazil or like a team that really capitalizes on those kind of things, they might run into some trouble. And the other thing I wanted to say is that, sorry, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, that France had a really good attack. They have a lot of really great attacking players. But again, that just brings you back to their defense had some holes. So in the 12th minute, a French player named Taylor Hernandez was subbed on for his injured brother. And I think that this is really cool because you don't frequently see brothers participating at the World Cup together. It's just, even when you can have two brothers who are both professional soccer players, there's frequently one that is significantly better than the other, and usually only one is participating at the national level because of that. So, I mean, I can name several German brothers who were both soccer players. Bastian Schweinsteiger and his brother, Toni Kroos and his brother. There's lots of cases like that, but a lot of times that other brother is playing like not even in the top league, or they're playing like not with one of the top clubs, even if they're in the same league. And so I think it's really cool that these are two brothers who are both at the top level and can both be called up for France, who is one of the favorites to win the tournament. I think that's just really cool. So there was that. And Taylor Hernandez had a really, really good match. So it's not like even when his brother was subbed off, it was like, oh, here comes the worst brother. Like, he did a really great job. In minute 26, Rabiot scored for France. And then in minute 31, Giroud scored for France. And no, I'm not going to say that because I don't know that that's right. And then, that was it for the first half. Like, so there was, I don't know what, 15 more minutes. I believe Australia had another really good chance in there that they just didn't capitalize on. And, yeah. So then the second half starts, and it takes 20 minutes for France to score again. Australia had a really good start back. Well, real good I'm using that loosely because it wasn't really good compared to like, like really good teams, but for where they're at, I think they're ranked 38 in the world or something like that. They did really good. Like, I was impressed. They're probably not going to make it out of the group, and this doesn't change anything about that prediction, but I think that they can walk away with their heads held high, that, they fought till the end, that maybe they were slaughtered 4-1, but they fought and they tried and they gave it their all. And I think that that's something that you can be proud of. So in minute 67, Mbappe scored for France. That made it 3-1. and then just a couple minutes after that, and that's just like their first set of goals. They scored in minutes 26 and 31, so only separated by 5 minutes. And then here it's only separated by 4 minutes when Girard scored again for France. And that put Girard tied for the most goals scored for France. So if he scores another goal in this tournament, which I'm sure he will break the French record. So I think that that's really cool. There was a couple of cases where players tried to pass the ball so that hopefully he could score one more. But he was subbed out anyways before the end of the match, probably just to protect him because the match was basically done. But even at the end of the game, Australia almost scored again. So Australia really did try. They just, they're not up to that level, and I hope that they continue to develop and grow. I would love for them to win a match in this group. Maybe they can win against Tunisia. I mean, maybe. So, yeah, that basically wraps up this match. They're calling it a routing because it was a 4-1 goal line. But I do think that there was some issues exposed about the French team. No one has done a repeat World Cup win since, I believe, the early 60s. So like 60 years ago, in which case it was Brazil, I believe, who did back-to-back World Cup wins. And there's a reason for that. A lot of times they don't change the players. Yeah, there's reasons. Other teams are constantly developing as well. So, sorry. That leaves the standings for this group. France, Denmark, and Tunisia are tied, and then Australia is at the bottom of the group. So, quick preview of tomorrow's matches, and then I'm going to wind this up and get it edited. But tomorrow at the early match is Morocco versus Croatia. So Croatia is the team that came in second place 4 years ago. It was a France versus Croatia final in which France won. So I'm going to say Croatia is going to win that. However, these Middle Eastern, North African countries are having a lot of fans show up to the matches, and that it's making it almost like a home game for them, and so they're getting a lot of energy off of that. That's what happened with the Saudi Arabia match. That's what happened with the Tunisia match, Qatar, of course, and Iran. And so that might be a boost for Morocco. We'll have to see. But I'm still predicting a Croatia win. Then the next game is Germany versus Japan, in which I will, of course, be rooting for Germany. And Germany should win that match. However, never underestimate Germany's ability to kick themselves in the butt. Also, you can never underestimate Germany because they can also kick you in the butt. So, it goes either way. Hey, baby. Hi, Beth. You want to say hi? Come here. Oh, here's Beth. She was just downstairs, so she must have just came upstairs. Oh, you need a cuddle. Anyways, so that is the 5 o'clock match. I'm predicting a Germany win. The 8 o'clock match is Spain versus Costa Rica, in which Spain should win that. Then the final match of the day is Belgium versus Canada. I don't know if I've corrected this, but I said that I thought this was Canada's first qualification. It is not. It's just their first in a long time, like 30-something years. Belgium is currently ranked number 2 in the world. They are one of my favorites to possibly win the competition, so I am going to say Belgium's going to win that match. But we will see, won't we see? Yes, we will see. So that's all I have to say about the matches. I just want to do, here we go, Bethany, a quick craft roundup because I got a ton done. Come the final match, the dogs were more demanding, but the first 3 matches, they left me alone, and so I got 300 stitches done on Around the World. I completely finished the second tulip, and I finished the outline. No, sorry, I completely finished the first tulip, and I finished the outline of the second tulip, and I started some of this back stitching. No, Lily. So 300 stitches is, I'm pretty happy with that. Stop it, you guys. No. They can hear construction work outside. And then I made great progress on the MCAL. I did make my goal. And so this is where it's at. So here is where I started. And this is, I believe, 3 repeats of that main pattern, and then there's the 1 repeat of the B chart. So that's what it trend. And so now I'm gonna do another section like this. So yeah, I am really, really, really loving this. I really love the colors. I'm so happy with it. And I'm using Cascade Heritage yarn, which is a reasonably priced wool yarn, and I'm gonna have to get this yarn again because in different colors and stuff like that, because it's been fantastic to work with. It feels really nice, and I think it looks really good. I mean, that looks really good. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I can't wait to work more on it. Tomorrow I'll have a smaller chunk to work on because today I caught up on what I didn't do. But yeah, that's the craft update. While I edit the video, I'll probably work on this sock. Just to try to get a few more, like a repeat or 2 done with it. And then if I have the energy, I really need to go make a couple of project bags on my sewing machine and finish up the ornament because I really need to get that mailed. I think it's probably going to be too late to get it mailed on Wednesday, and then Thursday is Thanksgiving, so maybe I can get it out on Friday if the post offices are open on Black Friday. I don't know. We will have to see, but I need to get my packages out. One of them includes like a surprise advent, tea advent, and so I really, really need to get that one mailed. So yeah, that's the whole update I have, and I hope you have been enjoying these vlogs. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.